Well, big crashes in the gold and silver markets this week, and moves that were actually quite predictable using some simple principles. I'll teach you what those principles are, and then we'll discuss whether the weakness in gold and silver is going to transfer to the overall stock markets. Are the overall stock markets on the verge of a major market correction? I'll show you how to analyze that and give you the answer. I'll do my normal market analysis as always on the commodities, stocks, bond markets, and that sort of thing. And then we'll teach you a little trading lesson using the trade of the week at the end of the video. All right, well, let's get into the main topic this week, which is the big weakness in gold and silver. And here's why it's predictable. Anytime trends go parabolic, anytime everyone is on one side of the boat fully bullish, it's very ripe for a sharp pullback. I had numerous emails this week telling me about gold and gold stocks and how hot they are. And when I get that and I look at the chart and I see a parabolic price trend, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment, I know that we're close to a sharp correction. So let's jump into the slideshow here. As I said, the crash in gold and silver this week was predictable using simple principles. I'll show you those in just a moment. But basically, they revolve around parabolic trends and something I call a bursting bubble candle. The stock market is not in the same situation as gold and silver. And so, although we could certainly see a correction in the market, we're not really showing the same characteristics. And I'll show you what to watch for. All right, well, let's jump into the chart of gold first. So a parabolic trend occurs when, if you draw a straight line across the bottoms, price runs up and away from those lines, or that line. And we've talked about this many times. This is a parabolic upward trend. Here we also had a little parabolic upward trend, not as significant, but it ran away a little bit and then pulled back. And so when you get a parabolic trend and you hit a new high and close below the open, the reason that that candle on Thursday is red is because the market opened at the top there. So it opened here and it closed here. So it opened very strong and actually had a lot of weakness during the day, managed to come back before the end of the day to close off of its lows, but still as a bursting bubble candle. Now you'll also tend to see volume very high on bursting bubbles. So that was our strong signal to sell the gold market. If we look at silver, very similar. It too had a trend that went from being straight to curving upward. So that's your parabolic trend. Hit a new high, close below the open. So parabolic trends and bursting bubbles are something that I teach in the foundation section of the Stockscores Education Center. So those of you that are members can go take a look at that. It's one of the first videos in the foundation section. So we went parabolic, we hit a new high, we closed below the open. That sets up for this big sharp sell-off. Now it shows up also when you look at the intraday chart. So this is now a 15-day, 13-minute chart, relatively short term. And you can see we had this big run over the last couple of weeks and it was relatively linear. And then Wednesday, it went parabolic, running away. At the open on Thursday, we gapped up, closed below the open, and started this sharp sell-off. This is the break of the parabolic trend. We then built a falling top and then broke down through a falling top, or from a falling top, on Friday morning for the next big leg of the downward move. Now, here is the market chart of the S&P 500. And although this market has made big gains over the last few years, it is not in a parabolic trend. In fact, it's kind of a soft, almost sideways trend in the overall market. So we don't have that irrational exuberance in stocks. And therefore, I'm just not that concerned about a big sell-off in the stock market. All right, well, let's get into the normal market analysis, and we'll jump to the Stockscores website now and take a look at some charts. A reminder, I do a free weekly email newsletter where I teach lessons, I feature stocks. It's all free. Just click right there. We don't send out a bunch of spam, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's jump into the charts of the S&P 500 first. SPY is the symbol. And there you see that daily chart. I want to actually look at the 1 month, 2 hour chart. And you can see that the trend is generally up, but with quite a bit of volatility. So it demonstrates some uncertainty. And I think it's a little bit of a shaky market because of that uncertainty, but still the buyers are in control. Money continues to sit in US stock markets. On that 3-year chart, if we get a break of the linear trend line like we did early in 2025, that can lead to a significant sell-off, and that's something to watch for here, but there's no sign of it yet. The stock scores are in a good place, so we just stick with the trend on the S&P. Now let's move along to the NASDAQ 100, which has been underperforming the large cap US stocks. Bit of a sector rotation. The tech stocks were really leading the market. But over the last 3 months, you can see that this market has been going sideways while the S&P has been going higher. We do have a relatively optimistic pattern because we have rising bottoms. And if we can break out of this range to the upside, then we should continue the upward trend. But until then, it's more of a neutral market for the NASDAQ. Now, the small cap market has been outperforming the NASDAQ. You can see that it's been trending upward the last couple of months. A little bit of weakness the last 4 or 5 days. If we look at the 10-day chart, you can see that weakness there. I guess it's 6 days of weakness. And so that has muted the short-term trading action because retail traders tend to be, their attitude tends to be correlated to the Russell 2000, the IWM. And that little bit of negativity the last 5 or 6 days has meant less trading action on those markets. Now let's move along to the Canadian market, which has really been guided higher by the strength in precious metals. And so not a big surprise that we're breaking the upward trend line on the Canadian market. This market has been red hot. You can see the big, strong upward trend, but that has been broken now. So we need to be fairly cautious with the Canadian stock market because of this trend line break. If we look at gold, again, we'll look at that one more time. We've already looked at it, but let's just quickly jump to the gold chart. There you see the parabolic trend, the big sharp sell-off. People wondering, is there going to be more weakness? Well, typically what you get is a move back to the trend line. So if that's our trend line there, we are almost there. There's a saying in trading, the market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. And you can see the big sharp sell-off. We're coming to the trend line. I think we'll see one more big day of weakness, a flush, a bounce back above the trend line, and then stability. That does not mean we're going to new highs. Most likely, we are going to go into a sideways pattern. Possibly, we could break that long-term linear upward trend line, which would be quite negative. Looking at the chart of oil, we've seen some strength in oil the last couple of weeks as tensions around Iran are escalating. And so there you can see the downward trend line broken, breaking the downward trend line, little pullback, build of a rising bottom, and now starting to move up. However, in the context of the 3-year weekly chart, we see this cycle repeating over and over again. Markets fall to support and they bounce. They've done it numerous times in the last 3 years, and they've just done it again. The issue, though, is they don't get much higher than the ceiling. When price starts to get up here, you see that political pressure to keep oil prices down rises. Oil-producing nations produce more oil, and so it keeps the price below that, but also above the floor. So if you want to buy oil, buy it at the floor and sell it at the ceiling. All right, moving along, let's take a look at currencies. The US dollar was quite weak. It bounced back a little bit, but still in a fairly weak negative chart pattern. And now that weakness transferring to Bitcoin, which broke down in the last couple of weeks here, and now breaking toward those lows. So you need to be fairly cautious with Bitcoin. You can see here on the long-term chart, we've sort of broken down through this floor from a falling top. I think it's more likely that Bitcoin is going to go lower than higher, so be cautious with that. Finally, the chart of the bond market, TLT. You can see it's in a general downward slide, but relatively stable if we go back for the year. And if you look at the 3-year chart, you see that here. So interest rates stable, not particularly helping the stock market, but not hurting it either. And so it's a relatively unimportant chart. So my ratings then, still bullish on US large cap stocks, neutral on NASDAQ, US small cap bullish. Canadian stocks, I've lowered my short-term rating to neutral because of that upward trend line break. The long-term trend on the 3-year weekly is still bullish. So I think that's worthy of caution, but I wouldn't necessarily make a mass run for the exit door. Gold, neutral on both time frames. And although it's had a sharp sell-off, I do think it's near a floor where it should bounce back. Oil, short-term bullish, long-term neutral. US dollar, short-term bearish, long-term neutral. Bitcoin, bearish on both time frames. And bonds, neutral on both time frames. All right, let's get into the trade of the week. This is an example of a stock that we traded in the Stockscores Active Live service, which we run every day. You can learn more about that at stockscores.com. And this is a stock that gave us numerous trades this past week. This was a really hot stock this week. And anytime a stock makes an abnormal break from low volatility, I get interested. And that happened at 9:33, 9:32 here, where you can see there's a little pink and yellow dot. So that's my indicator. It's called an action candle. And it looks for statistically significant abnormal price and volume action. And when I see that, I know that there's a crowd being attracted to the stock. This stock had very good liquidity, so that's a real strong buy signal. On a relatively quiet trading day, this stock made a big run, moving from just over $2 to $4.50, so 100% gain in less than an hour. And I know nothing about this stock. What I know is that the people that know the most tell me when they are buying because they create abnormal activity. I've written indicators to find that. We scan the entire stock market looking for abnormal activity. And when it happens, and it happens a few times every day, we check out the chart patterns and do our risk management and jump on the trade. You can learn more about how to do that at stockscores.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, do me a favor, click on the like button. Do you think gold and silver, if the weakness is over, or is this just the start of a bigger crash? Leave your comments. Love to see what you think. As always, trade well.